Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to make something yummy. It's a crock-pot potato cheddar soup. I'm making this vegetarian style. You can add meat to this, bacon or ham or anything of that nature, but I'm going to strictly be using vegetarian products, and then you can always modify. So let's get started. So in your crock pot, you're either going to set it on low, which is going to cook for about 8 hours, or on high, which is going to cook for 4 hours. So you look in your crock pot's instruction manual, and it'll tell you what low means and high means, or if there's other settings. So in your crock pot, you're going to add about a tablespoon of olive oil, and you're going to kind of just put this right at the bottom of the crock pot. I do this. It helps for easy cleanup and all that jazz. You are going to then add 1 chopped onion. So I'm going to go ahead and add that in there right now and let that kind of get warm before I add the other things. You're going to need about 3 celery stalks chopped, and you're going to add that right into the crock pot along with 3 carrots chopped. Now I did leave the skins on these because the skins are chock full of nutrients and vitamins and minerals. So add that on there. You're going to add 2 cloves of chopped garlic. So go ahead and add those 2 cloves in there. And I chopped this, as you can see. And if you like it more garlicky, you can add 3. But I only literally added 2 cloves of chopped garlic. So I have the crock pot set. The final steps we're going to do here when it gets closer, about an hour to the end. I have this on high because I don't have a whole lot of time, and I actually started this a little later in the morning. So I'm going to put it on high so it can cook for about 4 to 6 hours. And then on that 5th hour, or even on that 3rd hour, depending on your crock pot, I'm going to put the final steps in. Then you're going to add 5 chopped potatoes. And I'm using the skins on my potatoes. They're filled with nutrients and vitamins and minerals. And these are the russet potatoes. So I'm going to go ahead and add those in there right now. Whew. They're just flying all over the place in the crock pot. There we go. So I'm going to add those in there. All right, so this is the time you want to start adding your vegetable broth or chicken broth, whatever you want. I'm using a homemade vegetable broth that I put in my crock pot in the slow cooker overnight. If you're interested in getting more information on that, let me know in the comments below, and I'll make sure that I do a video on it or a blog post of some sort. So once all your vegetables are covered with the broth, like I said, you're going to set it on low or high, depending on how long you're going to step away from your crock pot. And I'm adding about 4 cups of this. Sorry about that. And I'm making sure it's all covered. I'm going to go ahead and add 1 bay leaf. I love bay leaves in my soup. And then I'm going to go ahead and add some fresh thyme in there and put that in there. Season it real well with salt and pepper. So I'm just adding the pepper right now, and it looks like a lot, but once I give it a good stir, it won't be too bad. That's about a couple teaspoons. Go ahead and season it with your salt. That's about a teaspoon of salt. You can season with the salt and pepper more of your liking. I am using this Himalayan sea salt right here to season, and that's going to taste a little bit more salty, so you don't need as much. Then you're going to give it a good stir. So I'm just going to stir this up really well. And crock pot meals are awesome, not only to do in the fall and winter, but especially during the holidays or even when you have an extremely busy day. I do a lot of crock pot meals, a lot even in the spring and summer, just because if I know the day is going to be busy and it's hectic, and instead of going through the drive-thru or going to a restaurant to eat, you know, restaurants take about an hour to an hour and a half from beginning to end to get your food, and that just takes up a lot of time. And, you know, fast food is something that I don't like to eat, me being a vegetarian. There's not really a whole lot of healthy choices for my family and I, and for me being a vegetarian. So, you know, if you do a little bit of planning, it helps so much. All right, so now what you're going to want to do is pour half of this mixture, the potato mixture, into a food processor, and you're going to process it on high. So, yeah. And then go ahead and pour it back into the crock pot. So go ahead and add that processed mixture back into your crock pot, and then go ahead and add your fresh parsley. And this is about the last hour before this finishes, so that's what we're doing right about now. Give that a good stir and let it continue to cook. So now you want to finalize it with about a half a cup to a cup of almond milk, or any type of milk would be fine. So go ahead and add that right into your crock pot. So I'm going to drizzle some of that, and this is, like I said, this is the last hour of cooking in the crock pot. So I'm going to go ahead and add some cheddar cheese, sour cream. You can add green onions and bacon bits. That's your choice. I'm not going to add the bacon bits. I'm putting those on the side because I don't eat meat, so that I will put on the side. I'm adding the sour cream, giving it a good mix, and letting this all melt and blend together. And I'm just going to ladle it into a bowl, and you can garnish it, like I said, with onions and bacon. Very yummy, very hearty, perfect fall winter soup. So enjoy. If you want full details of this recipe, go to my blog, which is www.mywholelotoflove.wordpress.com. Enjoy.